started off as a firefighter when I was 18 years old. I was a paramedic for the last 5 years, working for the same company for the last 8. Worked for the defense, as a defense contractor for a private company in Iraq as a firefighter for a year. And I basically got into all of this because my father was 5 years in the Marine Corps and 28 years in the fire service. And I've always had an affinity towards either helping people or getting into the Marine Corps, and I was too big by standards, so I ended up becoming a firefighter. In August of 2014, due to circumstances beyond my control, I unfortunately left my job and never thought it was going to happen to me, especially once I had my 2 boys.
Literally out of the blue, I'll never forget, Paul came to my office, "Pastor, can I see you?" Totally unannounced and unscheduled, and I can look in his eyes and I can say, something's not right. And he sat here at this table with me with tears in his eyes, and he said, "Things didn't go well today. I lost my job."
Things were a little okay for about a month, and then after about a month, maybe a month and a half, we started getting really tight with finances. It was a struggle making ends meet with just my wife's paycheck and unemployment.
I don't know how he initially became aware of Life Church. I know he's living in Hartford. He was an EMT, professionally trained, 12 years experience, pretty amazing man. And he showed up with his 2 sons. No, at that time, I take it back, he only had 1 son and his wife was pregnant. And so we kind of took them in, this beautiful young family, the typical American family, right? And we fell in love with them.
Back in around November, one of the people running the food pantry here actually came to me because he could see that I was worried about my family, but realized I was too proud to come to the food pantry. And when he sat and talked with me, I actually cried because I was ashamed that I couldn't provide for my family myself. I knew the food pantry was open, and I had considered going to the food pantry to help offset some of the costs of our grocery bills. I couldn't bring myself to do it. I was ashamed of being out of work for so long, ashamed of losing my job in general. The first time I came to the food pantry, that we received a couple bags of food, and they told me how much we could get, and it was really awkward just leaving there that night with the food in my hand, and I didn't feel comfortable in my own skin. So what's also helped make it better for me is that I found there's a need for me here. And I come in at least twice a week to help out. 1 day a week I come in when they bring in the primary delivery for the groceries. And then the second day is during the food pantry. And I'll come in and I'll obtain my food, but right afterwards I'll stay and I'll help the others that come through here. It's taken now about 4 months, and I finally accept it much more now, and the fact that it's not just, there's nothing to be ashamed of. People fall on hard times, and with the good Lord's help, there's services out there that even for people of the median income range who typically can't get help, there's still stuff out here to help us.
I still, guys, had a stereotype of people who would come to a food pantry. I went through this metamorphosis where I began to talk to people and understand, you know what? A month ago, they were doing well. And they were as well as educated as I was, had degrees in engineering or whatever it was. They just fell on hard times. The unique thing about hunger is that you can get away with it for a day, the next day, or a week, or whatever. I'm okay. But eventually, that catches up with you.
You can do it again if you want.
Hang on a second. I think for any man that comes in, that it's definitely the need to feel useful is a primary concern. And when you feel useless, you're very ashamed of it. You just need to realize that the most important thing is your family. You know, to heck with your pride, to heck with your ego, and do what you need to do to take care of them. If that means asking somebody for help, you got to ask them for help. It feels great being useful again.